Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Thank you all for being so kind and generous to a newbie caster in my previous video, and I hope to improve as these videos go on. You'll see I've improved the interface. I have zoomed in dice and zoomed in cards, and I also increased the font size, so twice the font, same low price. Today I'll be playing a Shadow People's game against a player named Hynch. He begins with through a day and night, and there is another way. Not useful early cards, and I have Fighting Urukai and Give It to Us, so some decent cards. Let's hop into it. Fellowship okay, and I put one eye and roll two more. He gets 3 musters and a character dice, so he begins by moving, and he's safe. I move Isengard to war. He musters the elves. I think about putting Saruman in and instead decide to draw a card first. I draw Pits of Mordor, so that's good to see early. And he musters the elves one away from war, so pretty fast for him. I put Sauron to war, and he thinks about putting the elves all the way to war, thinks about moving armies, and what he settles on is reinforcing Erebor and moving to Woodland Old Forest Road. So that's interesting. Yeah. And then I bring Saruman in, because an extra dice is good. And we go into the next round. He draws Challenge of the King. Again, not a good early game card, and Last Battle. So his draws have been not very helpful, certainly for the early game. I draw Morgul Wound, which is a good card, and Threats and Promises, which, if you've seen my last video, this is the game where I learned about the rules of Threats and Promises, so we'll see how that goes. I allocate one eye and roll no more, so interesting, and he gets lots of movement, so we'll see how that goes. I put Threats and Promises into play. It seemed like a good idea at the time. The rule I'm referencing from the last video is that this prevents passive nations from moving down on the muster track. But the thing I didn't realize is that it does not prevent active nations. So that'll come up here. I play Pits of Mordor and reinforce Moria, Dol Guldur, and Morannon. And I move some armies. Going towards the elves. He moves the elves towards war. We clarify that rules mistake on my part. Learning about that card. And then I move armies. I'm still going to go for Lorien. He doesn't have that much time to reinforce it. And now that it's at war, I certainly don't want him building up a giant army there. So he does muster it once, and I go ahead and put it under siege. Keep it for a rainy day. He moves and is safe, and I keep moving armies. He moves again, and I catch him, which is a little lucky, but I'll take it. And I get a 2 reveal. So with a will still showing, he's definitely going to sack Gandalf. And he chooses to take the high pass, which is a little interesting. Decides to not go through Moria or get stuck in Moria. Interesting. I offer him to pick a random instead of Gandalf, but he chooses to take Gandalf. And put Strider in the lead. And I move towards Gondor. Now that he has the elves towards war, I didn't feel a particular need to go towards the north. Maybe that's a little early to give up on the north, but that's what I did. So he plays Gandalf into Fangorn. It seems good. Collect dice. He draws House of Stewards. Again, not a good early game card. And Guards of the Citadel, which could be useful coming up if I actually go after Gondor. I draw Breaking of the Fellowship, which is a fun card. And Shadows of the Misty Mountains. So I'm getting lots of reinforcement early, which is nice. I allocate one eye, roll 2 more, and he rolls movement, all sorts of movement. So That's fun. And so he begins by hiding with Strider, using the muster. I wonder maybe a little bit. You certainly have as much movement as you were ever going to want this round. I wonder if maybe that muster could actually be used as a muster. It's a thought. What else are you going to do with these swords? Not sure. I muster the Southrons towards war, and he moves. I miss very much, 3 ones. And then I muster the Southrons all the way to war. Not sure this is necessary this early, but I want him there sometime, and I had some muster dice. So he moves again, and I catch him. Draw the 3. So that's good. Good to hit some 3s. He says draw random, and I hit Pippin. So it's nice to get that corruption in early. And he puts Pippin in Old Forest Road. So fear fire foes. I guess that's only in the west. So just a leadership. Could be nice. Could activate them. Cool. And I talk about how the threats and promises didn't really make much of a difference. The elves were at war before I moved on them, so it still is in play. But now that the Hobbit's there, he can activate the nations, and then they can move down anyway. So threats and promises did basically nothing. I move out of Moria. Oh, nope. Where did I end up moving? Moved. Yeah. I consolidate armies in the south and move on Gondor. So, yep. Okay. He moves again, 3 times on 3 eyes, but you rolled this many character dice. What else are you going to do with them? So, and I hit him again. So that's good. And 2 hits on the eye. So 2 reveal. Good. He says random, and I draw legless. So that's efficient. And then but it's a reveal, so he ends in Old Forest Road with Pippin again, which is kind of funny. And legless goes away. And then I play Breaking of the Fellowship. So that's fun that I was able to get this off. And I draw a 2. So he has to separate quite a bit of corruption that he was hoping to save as companions. He puts Gimli and Merry there. Those seem like the best choices. Yeah. So that's pretty good. And he uses the will to hide. Don't want that happening again. And I attack Osgiliath from the south. No card. I get nothing, and he gets nothing. So, go into Osgiliath. And he retreats to Pelargir, which makes sense. Although it's a little interesting because Gondor is not actually at war. I think this is a decision that comes up in a lot of games. Your 2 guys survive in Osgiliath, and you don't want to put them in Minas Tirith, but you're not going to get another muster before I put Minas Tirith under siege. And I guess you have guards of the Citadel, so you can fill it up afterwards. Maybe that just makes the decision right there. Do you guys often put 2 guys into Minas Tirith knowing one is going to be put back in reinforcements, or do you put them in Pelargir? Question for the audience. We collect dice. He draws Grey Company. Again, not a useful card for him right now. And Thranduil's Archers, which a good card, but I'm not going for the north, so his card draws have been tough. I draw on They Went and Denethor's Folly. I'm intending to take Minas Tirith, and he has a good sized army there, so that could be useful. Allocate 1 eye. He kills House of Stewards. And what else would he kill? Last Battle? But that's a daylight. I don't know. Let's see. Great Company. Okay, that makes sense. I roll 1 more eye, and he rolls 4 character dice. So he can't quite make it to Mordor without the ring. I mean, he could use an elven ring to make it if he never gets revealed, but he's not making it this turn. but he's making some serious progress. So that's interesting. Super fast. Holy movement, Batman, we say. All right. I put Minas Tirith under siege. He passes, which is a little interesting. And I guess with those dice, unless you were going to move, didn't really matter. So I put Minas Tirith under siege. Puts Gondor to war. And he plays Guards of the Citadel. Fills it up. So that's nice. I backfill Osgiliath and bring the Suzerains and Easterlings up to make sure I have plenty to take Peligreer and reinforce Minas Tirith, because this is going to be a siege. He moves. Going to do it sometime, so he's safe. I attack Peligreer before he gets any ideas about using a ring to reinforce. I undo. Yes. We discussed how last round in the game he and I discussed that I should have brought in the mouth last round, or not the mouth, the Witch King. The elves were at war, and I absolutely should have done that, but I forgot that he existed. So I bring in the Witch King on Minas Tirith, which is a much better play than attacking Peligreer, and that of course effectively cancels out threats and promises, which should have been gone anyway from attacking Gondor. So, okay. Then he moves again, which makes sense. Safe again, same rolls, and I put Denethor's Folly into play because I'm gonna have a hard time taking Minas Tirith possibly, and I don't want him making it harder than it already is. He moves a third time. Again, you got character dice. What else are you gonna do? And this time I catch him. And I get a 1. So obviously he just takes the corruption. And he's on track to make some serious progress here. I play Give It to Us. I have some red tiles. They need to get in before he starts moving on the track. And I'm having trouble keeping up. I'm barely have two sieges in place, and he's a lot of the way to Mordor, so going to be a bit of a race. And he moves his companions around. So he puts Gimli in Erebor, Merry in Woodland Realm. I'm not entirely certain why he leaves Pippin in Old Forest Road. I would have thought you'd put it in Dale, but it's fine there, I guess. And then I play On They Went. So, yep. Okay. Collector dice. He draws Axe and Bow just after Gimli has, 2 rounds, but Gimli and Legolas are both gone, so that's annoying. And Faramir's Rangers after I've moved across North Ithilien and South Ithilien. So, again, his card draws have been rough. I draw a 3rd red tile, so that's great. And Musterings of Long Planned War. So it's a desperate battle, so that's good. And he throws Axe and Bow, because you don't need that. He declares down the line a bit. Makes sense. I allocate 2 eyes. Just because I really want to hit him while I can, maybe get a stronghold tile, because he's running really fast, and I don't think that extra die that I would save by not allocating it will actually make the difference, but, worse things have been said and been true, so. I roll another eye, so 3, and he rolls more characters, plenty to get to Mordor. So, and I don't have cruel weather, so he's going to make it. Movement for days, I say. We talk about dice rolls, so good times. He brings an elite into Peligreer. Yep. We talk about how rolling 6s is good. Okay, this time Peligreer from the south. This time for real. I play a card. Not sure which it's going to be. It's an Onslaught. That feels a bit much, but good to get it in. And he plays Faramir's Rangers Shield Wall. I hit once. He hits 3 times back, which is painful. And then I'm nervous about how many hit points he has to me. So I actually just don't do the onslaught. But I do press, and he retreats. And I take Pelagreer. My first points. Yay. Yeah, huzzah. Okay. He reinforces in Lamedon, which is frustrating. But at this point, I don't know. Maybe this is poor play on my part. But at this point, I've just given up on Dol Amroth. I'll go find my points somewhere else. Especially with how much time he's got. And actually, my plan is, if I can even kind of fake him out, put a good army in Pelagreer when I split up Osgiliath, then he has to take me seriously down in the south, and maybe he'll spend some musters down there. But I don't ever intend to go down there. Maybe he'll waste some time down there. So that's my plan. I recruit in Orthanc, and I attack Minas Tirith. So play a Desperate Battle, and I get 4 hits, which is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And he gets 3 back, so I'll definitely take that trade. I press and draw. I get the Shadow Lengthens, which is pretty good. I don't know if I spend that here. The movement's pretty good. I go with no card. And I roll 1 more hit. And he rolls 1 back. So I'm not sure the press was really worth it there. I guess you have to say you're pressing before you draw, so there's that. Yeah. Okay. He moves. And I hit him. And I draw the 3, which is pretty good. And you can't just tank it. You got to take a random companion. Or Strider just straight up. So he takes Strider. And Boromir is now the lead. He says, we've been running fast, but losing companions just as quickly. Yeah. I reinforce Minas Tirith and put some into Pelagreer. Like I said before, I'm not going anywhere, but I certainly don't want to lose it in a counterattack late game. So I think I have enough to take Minas Tirith with what's there now. And so that's what I do. He moves again, because you got to get to Mordor. And I miss, which is frustrating. But I hit him on the first one, so. I attack Minas Tirith with no card. And I get 2 hits. And he gets 0 back. So I've taken Minas Tirith. And I'm up to 3 points. He says you can go next if you want. He's worried I have Cruel Weather, which is fine by me. We tease. And he says he doesn't have anything else to do with the last character die. I mean, this is Cruel Weather at work, whether it gets played or not. So that's good. He moves a 3rd time, and I hit him, and I draw the 0 reveal. So that's pretty fun. Get it out of the pool. We don't want him to have that when Golem's the guide. And I get a 2nd draw. And that 2nd draw is an eye for no effect. So sort of good, sort of bad. And then I play Morgul Wound, because he actually still only has 3 corruption. So it adds the full 2 corruption. Wait a minute. Oop. Is that not true? Oh, no, it just adds the 1. Shucks. Okay. Either way, still useful. He draws Mithril Coat and Sting. Finally a useful and timely draw for him. And Spirit of Mordor. I actually haven't combined very many armies, except for Pelagreer. Maybe that'll come into play. The Scouts is good, though, especially in Lamedon. So I draw Orc Patrol. Good to see. And Corsairs of Umbar. So seeing this, I actually keep in mind now, he hasn't actually reinforced Dol Amroth. He's been reinforcing an army in Lamedon. So I keep an eye on that. Corsairs is good. He throws out Challenge the King. Of course, he declares onto Mordor. And so let's go look at the hunt pool. Yep. So lots of eyes, 2 red tiles. I actually have a 3rd red tile in my hand. So it's a pretty unfriendly pool. Still some good low tiles there. We'll see what happens. I allocate the 1 I am allowed. Roll 2 more. And he rolls movement again. He has so much movement. We talk about that a little bit. He's still worried about Day Without Dawn, which, it's still in there somewhere. And so he takes Will to hide. And I put the next red tile in. So Ring is mine. Goes straight in. I think corruption is going to be really a problem, he says. And I say I'm trying. He says pass, but then instead he musters in Lamadon and Dol Amroth. Okay. I'm not going there, so I'm glad to see it. But where else would he play it? Woodland Realm, I guess. I say, learning, because I remember to bring in the mouth the first round he was available. So put him in place and put him in Moria. I mean, that army is actually probably going to go to Lorien, and the spare rolls would be nice. So, and in fact, that's what they could do. So they move out of Moria, and I take Las Arnach before he starts being a pill and mustering up in there. He could have already done that. Getting a big enough army to actually do anything here would have been difficult, but, don't want him to even try. He reinforces more in Gondor. That's fine by me. I think he could have tried to wait me out there by moving. You're going to move this round. Don't know. And I move the Witch King up while protecting from Path of the Woses. So he can help take out Rohan, because I've got 2 kind of pending points in Lorien, and I'm not planning to take Dol Amroth, so I need to take all of Rohan and then go find 2 more points, assumably Woodland Realm. So that's tough. It's hard to go find those last 2 sometimes, but we'll see. I reinforce Lorien. He plays Mithril Coat and Sting. Good card. Good time to have it. And he says, happy to see it with all those red tiles. Yep, that makes sense. I draw a card, and I draw Balrog of Moria. So talk about timing for a card. That's fun. And he moves. And I draw an eye. Does he? Nope, he just takes it with Boromir. So he gets the 1 corruption and flips revealed, and here's Gollum. So it's turn 6. I have 3 points, sort of 5 if you count Lorien. I guess I should finish out the round. So I attack Lorien. And I, of course, play Durin's Bane. He plays Valor. And how do I do? I get 1. So, a hit's a hit. And on the regular roll, I get 2 more. And he gets 2 back. Yep. So I press. And I play Onslaught versus his Daylight. So that's good. I've got the HP to spend here to get him gone. So I get 1 hit from the regular round. He gets 1 back. And I put a full 4 because I've got a couple reinforcements. These are pretty good chances to hit, better than I'm ever going to get with regular rolls. And I get all 4. So that's fun. And Lorien falls with a splat. So end of the round, end of turn 5. As a 6. As we go into turn 7, he's not doing great. He's at 5 corruption, revealed on the second step of Mordor. I've got Orc Patrol yet. That might come into play, and I've got 3 of the red tiles in. So I'm feeling pretty good, but I'm a long way from a win. I have to go kill all of Rohan and Woodland Realm, and I probably only have 1, maybe 2 rounds to do it. So at this point, I'm feeling a little behind, but we'll see how it goes. He draws Gwai here, and help unlooked for. He's not really relieving any sieges, but it's no quarter and daring defiance. No companions in battles that matter right now. I draw the Lidless Eye, which is nice just in case they Yahtzee Palantirs or something. And many kings. The Great Host is going to be nice. So I allocate 1 and roll 2 more. So a decent number of eyes. And he gets some movement. So that's good. He begins by hiding. Yep. I play Orc Patrol. Maybe I can reveal him, see what happen. And I draw my 3 red tile. So that's, good because it's 3, but it's unfortunate that I offer that he may redraw with Mithril Coat and Sting. I don't actually know if that's allowed. I would assume so, since Orc Patrol is just draw a hunt tile. But he politely refuses. And he reveals to reduce corruption. So, and then he hides again. So, stalled him out for the round. He has the Elven Rings. He could use those to move, but I don't know. He suggests I reinforce Mordor to help search for the ring, but I choose to not do that. So I play many kings, and part of my thinking here is I actually have Corsairs. So if I can put some guys in Umbar, I can hit Dol Amroth as long as he's not sitting directly on Dol Amroth. So I put a couple there and some in South Rune and some in North Rune. So now I have a stack with a couple movement that can definitely go take Woodland Realm. So that's good. He says pass. Yeah, I'm sad that I have to make decisions. And I move into Rohan. I leave a guy behind and start bringing that Southron and Easterling army. Capturing a Rohan settlement moves them down. And this is one of those funny things about Rohan, that unless you actually move out of your starting locations, I can just take most of the countryside. And you can't do anything about it. He says pass. I don't know. I'm obviously taking Rohan. You don't want to abandon Edoras, and you can't muster. I don't know. That's tough. And he doesn't have any cards that will help. So I keep marching. I consolidate in East Rune. Not strictly I guess I don't know why I didn't go to Vale of Karnan first. Doesn't really matter. He moves into Helm's Deep. Yep, and out from Rivendell. Okay, you're threatening something. So he's probably been watching this for a while. He has Through a Day and a Night. He has an army in Old Forest Road, and he could take Dol Guldur. So he's probably been keeping an eye on this for a while. I still have 1 muster. I haven't used it yet. I have some units just outside Moria that I could bring in, but what an interesting play. But he does kind of have to telegraph it by moving out of Rivendell. So I move out from Orthanc to take Fords and go take Iron Hills. So not entirely certain why I took Iron Hills instead of just walking to Vale. I guess I need 2 points, but am I really going to take Erebor with a captain? Not sure why I did that. He uses an Elven Ring and moves armies. So he's threatening, and he moves elves out of Woodland Realm. I don't know. That you were just as likely to take Dol Guldur. You need the dice. Yeah, you're kind of in a tough position. I'm not sure there was a better way to do that, but he does make me nervous. I decided to play muster, and I actually sat here and thought for a while, because for a long time I forgot Through a Day and a Night existed. But in the end, I decided to recruit an elite in Dol Guldur. So that pretty well shuts this down. He's already used a ring. He could use Through in a Day and Night to take Moria, but I'm never letting him get anywhere close to anything else after that. So it's not even really worth it. And he uses it to draw a character card instead, looking for some blue tiles. So actually kind of close. A little bit of a different dice roll, and I would have been in serious trouble there. But a fun little play by him. I attack Helm's Deep with the Isengard units. It's a tiny army, but it's enough to put them under siege, which is all I care about. So I've left Edoras alone, but he never got to get into Woodland Realm or get into Helm's Deep. So we collect dice. He draws there and back again, and Grimbjorn or more scouts. So really rough card draws for him. I draw a Nazgul Search. Okay, it's a Foul Stench. And New Power Rising a little late. But if I need to go take Grey Havens or Rivendell as my last 2 points, could be good. I allocate 1 eye. He throws away Grimbjorn and Gwaihir. Interesting to get rid of the scouts there. Surely one of the other cards is... I guess you have scouts on Spirit of Mordor still, so that makes sense. Okay, I allocate 1 eye, roll 1 more, and he rolls almost no movement. So he's used up his movement for the game, I guess. He says, I'm a dummy. I discarded the wrong card. Which was the wrong card? Gwaihir? What would have been the card you wanted? Grimbjorn's surely not. Not quite sure what he's seeing there. Ah, well. He plays Through Day and a Night. And then reinforces Erebor with the elf from Old Forest Road. Because he's worried I'm coming for that? I don't know. I'm not sure that was really the play there. You already have a captain there. Don't know. Okay. This was a mistake by me. I was just nervous by my close brush with Free People's Military Victory Death. So I spent a whole army movement just putting some guys in Moria. That was not necessary. He was obviously not going to get 4 points. But it made me feel better. So that's why I did it. Army die, and this is where I surprise him. I say Dale, and he puts himself into siege in Erebor, and we have to say no, undo that. I'm attacking Dale. Okay, North goes down because I don't see any reason to hit Erebor. I'm going to go hit Woodland Realm. He doesn't have time to muster up enough to get nearly as difficult as Erebor is going to be. So no card. He chooses a card and he scouts away. Sure. Good. I leave no one behind because I don't care if he goes and recaptures Iron Hills. I have no intention of returning. I have Rohan effectively defeated. They're not Arab, it'll take a little bit to take Helm's Deep, but they're not going to get any more guys. Certainly Erebor is going to do nothing against me. He has some musters, but anyway, that's at least how I feel. Is I have my points, and I don't need to. I'm not worried. I go up to 6. He recruits in Woodland Realm, which makes sense. I put Woodland Realm under siege, so it's a 1 regular, 2 elite, so 5 hit points against my 10. I move armies to Helm's Deep. Again, I don't need Edoras. The elves are at war in Erebor, but there's just 1 regular. I guess Gimli could come out with it. I'm risking Dale a little bit more than maybe I should. But he only has the 1 hit point. And so I have Dale with Helm's Deep and Woodland Realm. That puts me to a victory, so that's where I'm looking. I do move with my other half movement some guys out from Lorien in anticipation of maybe Woodland Realm holds really hard and I have to reinforce. Mostly I just didn't have anything else to do with that half move. I think about leaving a guy, but move out. All right. I flip the mouth, and I attack Helm's Deep. I choose a card, and I choose, probably Deadly... No, I'm not going to spend Corsairs. Don't know what I choose. Foul Stench, yes. Okay. 2 hits, 3 hits to his 0, and we're done. So that was a pretty painless... Well, so much for the spirit of man, yeah. All right, and he says they were holding their noses from the foul breath. Draw for Witch King into the Palantir. Cruel as Death could be good. We think for a bit. He moves from Dol Amroth. So he sees my victory condition just as much as I do. And he moves out to take Pelargir from me, or at least give a shot at it. And I thought this was fun because I have Corsairs. And I have 5 guys in Umbar to his 1 in Dol Amroth. So he only moves the 1 half army in Gondor, and we say, nothing else to move? And I say, well, how about North Downs? So he threatens Angmar, which is funny. So yeah. It's my turn, and I play Corsairs because I only need 1 attack. I only need 1 attack to take the stronghold that I think I need to take. And I have an Elven Ring to do it with either dice. So I can move Nazgul and then attack, rather. So I'm going to make him choose if he wants to give me a shot at Dol Amroth. So he goes into siege, and he does help unlooked for on Dol Amroth. So we no card, and I just stay still till the end, try and whittle him down, but I do basically nothing. Ended up doing not very much, but it spent a die from him, which is important to me. So I move Nazgul, put a couple in Pelargir in case he takes his shot. And again, I didn't notice actually that Dale was in danger. I just noted dwarves are not at war, men of the north are not at war. I'm safe. He could have attacked. It would have been 2 dice for a 6, hoping I don't get a 5 or a 6. Might have been worth it. And in the end, he says, I'm going to rely on defense, and moves. He hasn't moved yet. He certainly can't afford to just not move. He's not winning a military victory if he just waits. So, yeah, that makes sense. And he gets the 1 reveal, which is fine. With Gollum, that's nothing. And then I spend my Elven Ring to attack Woodland Realm. So I have 1 elite and a couple cards, and here we go. I choose Cruel as Death versus Daring Defiance, so he cancels out my card. But I roll 3 6s. So, as discussed earlier, rolling 6s is a good strategy. And I hit him. He gets 1 back. And now he's just down to 2 hit points. I press. I draw Candles of Corpses. Not particularly useful in this very second. And I play Great Host. He plays Brave Stand. But I get 2 hits. Or I get the 1 hit plus the Great Host. And so in the end, nothing comes of it, and he loses. So GG, close game at the end there. It's always disappointing to have a giant army in Gondor and not feel like you can do anything with it. His card draws were pretty rough, but overall it was a good game. And he was really low on 6s. He was actually -4 on 6s, but he was +4 on character dice out of. So moving very fast right up until he wasn't. So thank you all for this watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.